This is the Marketing Made Easy for HR Consultants podcast, a show to help independent UK-based HR consultants get a pipeline of perfect fit, high-paying clients without expensive adverts, time-consuming social media activities, or energy-sapping and monotonous networking meetings. I'm your host, Nick Paninsky, author of How to Land Your Dream Client, a book which explains everything you need to know to get every sale and client you ever want. And if that sounds interesting, then make sure to grab your copy from the influential consultant website today. That being said, let's get into today's show. Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Marketing Made Easy for HR Consultants with me, Nick Paninsky. Today, we are very lucky. We have been joined by Lorraine Macdonald from Horizon HR, and she is going to share a little bit of her journey from HR consultant to managing loads of people. Hello, Lorraine.
Hello, Nick. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for joining me. You know, obviously we met at Gold Circle, and I just, you know, every time we talk, I think I need to get her on the show so she can share her story.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I'm always willing to share my story. It's absolutely it's great. So yeah.
It's good for people to be able to hear what's possible. You know, obviously my audience, they are more towards, well, under six figures, right? So yeah. For them to be able, and they'll be struggling with marketing and sales and all that stuff. But you've gone through that. And now you're on the other side, and I want people to be able to hear what's possible.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. So do you want me to tell them where I am now?
Yes. I want everyone to hear where you are now, and then I want to say, but it's not always been like that, has it? So, okay. Yes, tell us where you are now.
Okay, perfect. So as Nick says, I'm Lorraine Macdonald from Horizon HR, owner and founder. And we are multi-award winning, multi-six-figure business. And we support hundreds of business owners now and have done to remove their HR headaches, solve their people problems, and also actually prevent some of those people problems happening in the first place, which is really critical for what we do and our values. And where we are at the moment, we are in a period of absolute kind of exponential growth, to be honest. And it's a pretty exciting time. So currently, we are looking for the big 7-figure milestone, and we're hoping to do that by the end of this year. This is my target for the end of this year. So wow. It's been a crazy journey, absolutely crazy journey, but loving every second of it.
Nice one. And how many people are in your team right now?
So at the moment, there are 3. There will be 4 soon. But that's actually employees, PAYE. We also have a number of associates that we work with, so self-employed HR consultants in specialist areas or generalist areas where we can call upon for, peaks and troughs of work and that kind of thing, and specialist kind of projects. So we
amazing.
Do, a wider team as well.
That's really interesting, because I'm going to have to get you back on the show, because I've been looking for somebody to tell me what HR consultants should look for when they're looking for associate work, how they should get that. And I posted a few times asking for someone to come forward. So now you've volunteered yourself.
I'll come back again if you treat me nice, Nick.
I will try.
Okay.
Cool. So here we are. So that's our starting point. So Lorraine Macdonald, aiming for 7 figures by the end of the year, managing loads of staff, award-winning, love it. But it's not always been this way. So take us back.
Absolutely not. So if I go back 10 years, so just before the business was born, I was actually in my last employment. So I was an employee at leading a team of advisors in an employer, and we were providing HR services, a bought-in service. And at that time, I was like many people, as HR consultants that you kind of work with, kind of at that point where I can do this better myself, actually, and I want to be able to be more in control of what I do and how I do it. And so I was in a position where I was essentially being made redundant, following a kind of traumatic life event for me. And I took the opportunity to focus on positives and to build a business from it. So I knew I always wanted to run my own business from a little girl, from a little dot. I always knew it, never knew what it was going to be. And then I fell into HR straight from school. So I always knew. So I took the opportunity when I was made redundant to start my business. And it was difficult, actually more difficult than I thought it was going to be, because yes, I'd done a bit of business. I'd done a bit, I studied a bit of business. I thought I knew everything a little bit to a certain degree, but you realize very quickly how much there is to do to run a business.
Oh, yeah.
So there were so many challenges, particularly even on my first day. I was really lucky. I had clients from day one. So I had a handful of clients from day one, but that came with its own challenge. So I literally was made redundant one day and had clients from the next day, and then went, oh, I've got to send some invoices, which is a great position to be in, but I didn't even have a logo or anything. So I made this free logo up, like on a free logo website, and it was horrific, but it stayed with me for about 3 years or maybe longer. So it was the most horrific thing I've ever done. But anyway, it was quite fun. It's good to see the journey that's even gone through. But so there were so many challenges, but even some of the admin stuff that you just didn't think about that you needed, and then letterheads, and then all of these things. But also, where do you get clients? How do you get them? I don't know. I've never had to. I've always worked in employment, right? So how do you run a business? Finance wasn't my strongest, probably still isn't, to be fair, but actually it's getting better and it does. So all of those things, learning. And I just remember being really tired, really exhausted, because there were so many hats you have to wear as a business owner that you actually don't know what support you even need. And if you don't know what you don't know, then you don't even know what to go looking for to get it. Does that make sense?
100%. It's that overwhelm. And we've all been there. Like you say, there's so much to think about.
Absolutely. And you just don't think about it until it happens. And then you realize, but as a small business owner, you also then have to pivot really quickly and go, damn it, I've got to do this now, and I've got to do that. And it's literally in seconds, you've got to produce something that you didn't think you needed to, so you can't plan for it. So I think the first year or so was a real challenge, trying to get into a flow, getting the right people behind you, accountants, that kind of thing. But there have been more challenges. There's been challenges through the way. I did have a business partner at one point. That was a challenge, no longer.
Fair play, Lorraine. You don't strike me as the type to suffer fools gladly, so I'm not surprised that person didn't last too long.
Well, no, and I'm pretty direct, as you now know, Nick. I do. A few times I'm pretty direct and pretty straightforward, but there's I still care about people and all the rest of it, and but in terms of business, I'm very direct, very, very direct. So there's been lots of challenges along the way, and I think predominantly my biggest challenge is actually getting to a point where I was working so much in my business. So I was at the 6 figures, and I was working so much in the business that I couldn't get out of it to work on it. So I couldn't grow the business. So I spent 3 years of kind of plateauing in terms of the business growth. And I just wasn't getting anywhere, because I was it's like wading through treacle a little bit. And I was just so tired and so exhausted. I had a team of people, managing them, trying to deliver everything, trying to get new clients. And it was just impossible to do because I was doing so much client work. So, and that's when things changed, I think, for me. I
was about to say, what was the moment where you realized I've built myself, for want of a better phrase, a prison? It was a nice prison, but effectively that sounds like a prison.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I loved my job. I loved what I was doing and the impact I was making to my clients. But also there was an unhappiness with it as well. So I did feel quite stressed and overwhelmed by it, and very much like, it's not giving me what I wanted. You often go into running your own business because you want the freedom or the more time back. And actually, in reality, you have to make that happen. You have to make the right choices, and you have to get the right people behind you to enable you to do that at the right times. And that only comes with experience, actually. that's the one thing I have learned. So yeah, I had this moment where I was like, I had a business coach. I was trying different things about growing the business. I was attending retreats. I was doing workshops. I was doing all of those things, spending quite a bit of money and a bit of time trying to get things moving again. But none of it seemed to marry up. So inevitably, what I did is I got confused. So when there's conflicting advice, different people saying different things, it stopped me and prevented me from taking that jump and that leap and that step forward. So therefore, I didn't feel confident about it. Therefore, I didn't do it. So, so you kind of know what I mean by that, don't you, Nick? You know, you kind of, it does stop your growth. It stops you growing your business in that way. So that's where I kind of got to. And that was only a short period of time ago as well.
Wow.
Less than a year.
It is true though, like you say, like without that clarity, without those steps, then it does feel like, wait, what should I do? There is, and we all fall for that shiny object syndrome.
Yeah.
And I like to think that I help. I'm just a little bit of self praise here. I like to think that I take that away from my clients. Like I give them a step by step. We are going to do this week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6. And then every step is going to build on each other step. Because like you say, as soon as you get overwhelmed or confused, it's over. And
you just don't make progress. You don't take the small steps. Or, I think, it's one of the things that Adam Stott does teach really in our program is it's around that next step. It's not, you don't have to look at the whole staircase at the top of the staircase, because you don't know where the top of the staircase is, but you've only got to take the next step. And if you've got someone in your corner giving you that next step and giving that confidence that that next step is the right journey, don't worry about the long kind of the North Star at the top or whatever. Go that one step at a time, one step after the other, follow the framework, follow the process. And if you've got that person that gives you that, that is what game changer is for your business as a CEO of your own business, to be fair. That's the one thing that I think really, really, really changed what I was doing. And having that person to bounce ideas from as well.
Yes.
I really wish I had someone like you doing your business at a much, much earlier stage of my business, right from the beginning. Someone like that would have been really great for me, where I can just sit down and go, right, this is what I'm thinking, get my little brainstorming out, and then help me get a structure behind it and method and steps and processes. That would have helped me a lot. I would have been where I am now much, much earlier, many years ago, for sure.
Well, that's very kind of you to say, Lorraine. I appreciate hearing that.
I'll play you a trumpet as well then.
But it's true as well. Like, even I need that person. Like, I want to do X, Y, Z, and I understand that I should be doing these and how to do them. But at the same time, having somebody to bounce ideas off, it is priceless. Like,
it is.
Otherwise, you can, to borrow a phrase from Adam, you can run enthusiastically in the wrong direction. And then you
run in circles, which is kind of what I was doing. I was going in a spiral, like quickly, but I use the analogy of the metaphor is the hamster wheel. That's what I was doing. I was running hard, running fast. I was a sprinter back in my day, by the way, but I was in a wheel, so I wasn't going anywhere. So I might have been pretty fit, and but actually I wasn't going anywhere, and certainly not in the right direction. So. That's what coaches and mentors do for you, right?
Bingo, exactly. So then you met Adam, and then things changed. What changed for you? Like you met Adam, and obviously now, rather than plateauing, the business is on an upward trajectory. So how did that happen? What changed psychologically, physically? What happened?
I mean, the coaching program that we're in, high investment level, but I knew I needed that kind of coaching from people I respected, people that have been there before, done that, what I've done, grown beyond that, and have got all the tried and tested techniques and frameworks. I needed that, but also I wanted that directness. And Adam gives that in abundance, right? So I knew him and the coaching team that he's got would give me that directness, that tough love that I needed to push me forward, because I'm quite a strong character. And many coaches I'd walk all over. If I'm honest, I have to really respect them completely. So what changed for me is that investment level and knowing I'm not wasting that money. There was absolutely nothing in my world that was going to waste that money. So I made plans very quickly. So within the first week, I went, how am I going to get some time back? I need to put my effort into this program, because you have to do the work, right?
I think it wakes you up as well. That level of investment is so severe that it's not like, oh, I'm going to invest this and then kind of let it drift. You are like, okay, I'm in. Like, I'm making this financial commitment. I want a return on my investment. I think that's something that people don't necessarily get when I share, the prices for the investment required for the fast lane formula. They're like, oh, that's a lot. I'm like, it's not. But it also is at the same time, because you're not going to invest that money and then want nothing back from it. I want people who want to take action, and that's what we are getting from Gold Circle.
Absolutely, and it's that mentality. So yes, I wasn't working on the business as much as I should, so I knew I had to find time. So I streamlined systems, I delegated more, I outsourced more, I made time for myself to do that program, to get the work done. And that's the biggest change that I made initially, which enabled me to do the training, enabled me to put some effort in, to do other things. And you know what? Streamlining systems and processes was like a stupid thing that I just hadn't done as much as I should have done. Like simple things. And I love a process. I love a system. So it was mad that I didn't do it until I'd spent a lot of money, So that was my biggest changing point. And as soon as I started seeing some changes and some sales coming in, some new clients with some of their tactics, real quick wins, it motivated me. Learning my numbers. Oh my God, learning my numbers was the biggest change. We've obviously been through Gold Circle recently, where they were talking about, and it's exactly the process that I've been through, looking at your cash flow forecast, looking at your sales on a weekly, if not daily basis, looking at all of those things and those metrics, like nudging and going, there's nothing more motivating actually, because when you associate increased revenue by the impact that you're making to your clients, it's not about the money for me. It's about more revenue to me actually means I'm making more impact to more people and more business owners.
Yes.
And that's what drives me.
Sometimes struggle with that concept. So I love that you've raised that, because people worry that by being salesy, they are doing some sort of negative thing. But I often think, I know they use this phrase, to sell is to serve, but I think that you're stealing people's right to a better business by not helping them, by not giving them that solution. When they say, oh, I need to think about it, that's a default position. Like, that is always more than likely going to be the answer. But you need to be able to overcome that in order to help them. And you are responsible for that. You've got a great product, a great service. Absolutely. It's your responsibility to share that. You can't steal that from them.
No, and I'll share with you, Nick, and your your audience, that when I joined that program, I was the worst. Honestly, I know we've spoken about this, but I was a person who would almost need to be tortured to give any information about my products and services, let alone talk about the money side. I literally would talk to business owners all the time. I'm so interested in other business owners, so interested in developing other people's businesses. Love it. Love seeing other people's journeys. But me going, oh, actually, I can help you with that. Never. Hardly ever. I mean, people would have to bully it out of me, literally rip my fingernails off to try and get, how can you help me, Lorraine? So that really changed. My mindset changed in terms of how I deliver sales now in my business. Like, sales and selling is not the same as I thought it was. No. I'm not a hard salesperson. Like, I don't go in with I must get a sale out of this. That's not what I do at all. And I'm certainly it's not a pushy salesperson kind of tactic, or I don't use any of those things. But what I do is I leave myself open to having a conversation and seeing how I can help someone, how I might be able to support them. And we talk about that. And I'm inquisitive, and I ask the right questions about getting what they need and how much support and where they would need that support in, and finding what their real pain points are, to be able to then be able to make an offer that they might need, actually. And it would be giving them a disservice if I don't offer them something if I can.
Yes.
Right. So, and that was a massive shift for me. So that really changed every conversation that I had. whether that's a business one, a sales call, or just a conversation, like, anywhere. It doesn't matter where you are. Just be open to those conversations and see where those conversations take you. Make the offer if there is one. That's it.
Yeah, love it. I think that was the moment at last Gold Circle where I said to you, so what changed? And you said that like every conversation is an opportunity, and that changed for me psychologically. And I thought, I need her on the show. I have to share that message with people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is my mindset shift in that respect, only because I've got the confidence of all the sales process and the right questions and how to go through that process. That gave me confidence that I could have those discussions in the right way. And that's exactly what you need, because I didn't go into running an HR consultancy business because I was great at sales, right? That's not why I went in it. And many of your audience will be exactly the same, right? They probably hate it. I hate talking, like asking for money. Like what? I hate spending money. I hate asking for it. I still hate it, but I get better, right? And that's all it is. It's about having that confidence and having that backing of someone where I could just pick up the phone and go, oh, I just had a sales call and I got it. And then celebrate me with it. And that gave me that confidence. And then we would talk about how I did it. And then I would tweak that. And then I would add something and then do it again and just change that process. And now I've got that team and those people to support that process and give me that encouragement that I'm on the right track.
Yeah, it's so true as well. Like people worry about sales, especially HR consultants, because they think, oh, it's selly, it's manipulative or whatever. But it really isn't, and it's not that difficult. I had the free event the other week, and I was saying, HR consultants worry about sales, but you already sell every day. Every time you convince your kid to eat their greens, every time you convince a manager to have a difficult conversation, you are selling.
It's persuasion skills a lot of the time, isn't it? It's selling something to them, making them make a different choice, or encouraging them to make the right choice that they know they need already.
Oh, I love that. That's a quote, that.
Yes. Lift that one out later.
Love that one. Yes. Encouraging them to make the right choice. Yes. Presenting them with the right choice.
Yeah.
Love
they probably already know they need it. They just, like I am now when I'm being sold to, I just don't want to spend the money. Like, it's not about wanting whatever it is that they're trying to offer me. It's just about, I just feel nervous about spending. Right.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes what it is. But actually, make sure that they feel more confident and comfortable about spending the money, knowing what they're going to get for it. What's the transformation they're going to receive? What's the outcome they're going to get? That's what it's about.
Bingo. They've picked up the phone to you because they are in a bad position. They have problems. And you are over here saying, I can give you this dream life that you want, but you're going to have to work with me. And they are, because of our human brains, they are going to want to stay in their comfort zone. But that's not good for them because they're over here in pain and they could be over here in pleasure. So you've got to help them to make that step, because it will be uncomfortable because they want to stay in their comfort zone. But unfortunately, that's not a good place for them. So,
and that's not where growth happens, right? It's not where the good stuff happens. It's not where the magic happens, is how I think. I love being outside my comfort zone. And, if I'm not outside it, I have to find a way to make it. It's terrible.
I like that. I'm like most of everyone else. I like my comfort zone. I like to try and get outside it every so often. But anyway, so we know where you were. We know where you are right now, where you want to get to. I guess, is there, for people listening at home, what is the one piece of advice you could give a HR consultant wanting to get to six figures and beyond?
I would say the one piece of advice is actually get a coach and mentor. So a coach or mentor or both. Get the right people around you. Whether that is the coach and mentor, or whether it is actually just evaluating the people around you, the other business owners you surround yourself with, the networking events you surround yourself with, making sure that your loved ones, and it kind of all links into the same thing. It's about having that circle around you that actually works and is positive, because the energy zappers, my God, they zap your energy like there's absolutely, like the mood hoovers, as Anna would say. Mood hoovers, they literally just suck it out of you, and it's just not good. So you are not going to grow when you've got those kind of people around you. So just making sure you're in those right circles of similar-minded business owners, other HR consultants that are going to lift you up. They want the best for you. You've got a coach and mentor that's helping you bounce ideas, but also help you grow, giving you those processes and frameworks. You know, having that is the biggest change, and removing the others. Actually, that's
yeah.
Spend less time with those people and choose what you're sharing information with those people.
Like find a good coach, surround yourself with the right people, positive people, and and then embrace the change.
Absolutely. Love that change. Love that.
Love that.
Good.
Excellent. Well, that is it. Thank you for joining me today, Lorraine. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been great. It's nice to chat. I'm sure there'll be many more on the horizon, and we'll chat, I'm sure, some more over
100%.
the moments.
Well, you've accidentally volunteered yourself to come and talk about associate work. So
I have, haven't I? But I don't mind coming back and talking to you guys about that. That's absolutely fine, because it is a bit of a thing that I've started over about 3 years ago, and it is quite handy to have, particularly for those kind of smaller HR consultancies where it's just one person at the moment. It's a great way to have access to other people, and also from their point of view, getting attached to other larger consultancies to do ad hoc work and build their revenue that way as well, and be able to kind of work with those people. We collaborate all the time with different HR consultancies as well, some bigger ones as well, not just independent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Peninsula?
Sorry?
Peninsula?
Absolutely not. No. No, not the nationals, because they don't need people like us.
Got you. I was just checking how big you were. You know, I know you're a titan of industry, but just checking.
No. More the similar sizes to us.
Okay.
Similar sizes to us, where we can collaborate and do different things together and that kind of thing. And we can support each other. You know, we have different skills. HR consultants have different skills and abilities. You know, I'm not the same as the next person, and they're not the same as me, and they have something that I don't have. And, you know, you've got to be open to that and collaborate where actually it works for your client, right?
Love that. Cool. Well, thank you for joining us today, Lorraine. It has been an absolute pleasure. And for those of you listening along at home, hopefully this was a informative and enjoyable conversation. As I say, we'll be getting Lorraine on again to talk about associate work, so we'll look forward to that. But in the meantime, as ever, get marketing, because without marketing, there's no sales. And without sales, there's no business. So get marketing.
Perfect.
Hey there, and thanks for listening to the Marketing Made Easy for HR Consultants podcast. If you've enjoyed the show, then please consider taking a minute to help us grow by sharing the episode with a friend or colleague, or by leaving a positive review on podchaser.com. And make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the upcoming episodes if you haven't done so already. I've been your host, Nick Kaminsky, and if you've got any questions or you want to know more about today's topic, then feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'd be delighted to hear from you. See you next time.